looked at.
First, we go live to our correspondent Jason Budd, and my dad is in the background, and that has just ruined the whole bloody shot.
How many times have I had to tell you to get that damn roof looked at?
Oh, apparently.
Hello and welcome to the show that must go wrong, live from City of Bristol College.
But we aren't in college, mate.
I'm Talitha and I'll be your host.
And I'm John, your host too.
On today's show, we have fake news, fashion documentary, and music.
And we'll have the greatest show to man, fact or fiction.
But first, we go live to our correspondent Jim Jones, who's at another exotic Bristol location. That's right, he's in Sea Mills, where apparently there are reports of strange activity.
Sounds pretty average that side of town to me.
Thank you, Talitha. I am here in the sleepy Sea Mills where in this household something isn't quite right. I'm joined by Milana Rump. Thank you for joining me, Milana. So, Milana, what happened?
Well, I came back from having the vaccine with my mother. My mother, Ivanka, had the vaccine yesterday and all was fine. We went to bed as normal and then I could hear some dreadful groaning in the night, which I just thought was her missing her bingo hall, so I didn't really think much of it. I came down in the morning and then I noticed there was a remains of what looked like our beloved dog, Donald. There was an awful lot of blood on the back door. I opened the back door, followed the trail of blood, and that's when I saw her. This is where she was.
Do you think the vaccine had anything to do with it?
Not quite sure. She does have bad days. Nothing like this before. We've tried everything. We've tried injecting disinfectant. The only thing that has stopped her from eating live animals up to now has been gnawing on toilet rolls. But we're running out of toilet rolls because everybody's stockpiling them again.
Where is she now?
She's just here.
Oh. Okay. She tried to eat any people?
Well, it's funny you should say that because she did have a little gnaw at me earlier on.
Nope. Thank you, Talitha. I'm here in the sleepy Sea Mills where in this household something isn't quite right. I'm joined by Milana.
Well, thank you, Jim. Well, that's made me want to get my vaccine. What about you, John?
Yeah, totally. Me too. Haven't seen that much life in seasonal since the last summer fete.
Now moving on to fashion. John, you're a bit of a fashion icon, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm wearing a reversal jacket right now.
All right, we've got to see it. Come on, stand up.
Oh, okay. Oh God, my chair.
Okay,
You
you've
see
disappeared.
it? Oh,
You've disappeared. No.
Oh, I need to sit down.
I've seen it before. Sorry, guys, you won't be able to see it. We have a treat for you now with our very own independent fashion show.
I cannot wait.
Today, many people view fashion as something casual and dress in what is most convenient for them. But it has not always been this way. In the past, especially in the Middle Ages, people dressed according to their social status in life. In the Middle Ages, people dressed according to their social status. Peasants wore simple, dull-looking, reliable clothes made from wool or hemp cloth. Wealthy nobles, however, wore fine silks embedded with jewelry. Even if peasants, however, were rich enough to afford far better silks, they would not have been allowed to wear them or any other better clothes. During the Renaissance, there was a renewal of ancient Roman and Greek thinking. This led to a renewed taste in fashion, as the noble classes were able to wear much more expensive fabrics, clothing and different styles from different fabrics and other materials. The poorer classes, however, also had a slight change in fashion, as they wore slightly more stylish clothing. However, despite this, their financial status still prevented them from dressing more freely. This, however, was to change. In the time of the Enlightenment, events like the French Revolution dramatically changed European fashion. The lower classes were no longer content with just having drab and dull styles of fashion that they had to wear continuously for almost all their lives, while the rich upper classes still had extremely fine, more expensive clothing and better tailors to craft that. This, however, served to only increase the gap between the two classes and would be a significant catalyst for the events to come in fashion. During the Industrial Revolution, the clothing industry was extremely lucrative, as people became far more fashion conscious and began purchasing clothing for style rather than personal necessity. Before this, people crafted their own clothes and had just enough to get by at this point. This way they could afford to experiment with different fashion styles and trends. The rich, of course, still had far greater access to a variety of clothing at better materials with which they were made. However, the gap was now beginning to close. The most major changes occurred in the 1900s. After the First World War, people, despite still dressing in a conservative way, expressed their support for the suffragette movement, which would change fashion for women during the years to come. There was now an increase in women dressing in what was previously considered to be more masculine and for men. During the Second World War, though, that is, especially in Britain, members of the monarchy had started to appear more humble in clothing so as to seem more relatable to the wider masses. After the war ended, when the economy recovered, people began to dress in far more different and unusual class-defying styles. This new fashion, which culminated in the extremely unique and extremely crazy fashion trends of the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and then the 90s, finally bringing us to where we are today.
Well, that was quite something. What did you think of that, John? John?
Oh, sorry. I was out robbing old people in Sea Mills. What did I miss?
John, you can't just walk off robbing people whilst we're live.
Well, I need the cash, sorry.
Let's go to James now for a look at the forecast for the week. John, we've talked about this. You can't just keep wandering off, you stupid.
Thank you. Wagwan fam, it's the news at 1. Bear Joke Man have been running the east ends of Bristol. However, expect to see some dusty utes down south, but they tend to migrate up to the west ends near Avonmouth and Sea Mills as the week goes on. Later on in the week, you will tend to see some junkies outside the McDonald's begging for a Happy Meal with the girls' toy. And finally, expect to see some sunny spells and some big bunda girls as the week goes on. Thank you. Back to you in the studio, you little fucking...
Well, thank you for that, James. I'll be sure to avoid Sea Mills this weekend and every other day until I die and beyond.
And now we return to part 2 of our fashion film. That's right, we're looking at swag and drip. Or whatever it's called.
Alright, before we get this started, let me explain one thing.
Hello, I'm Jordan, and today I'll be speaking about a fairly new category of UK fashion by the name of drip. You may be thinking, what the hell does drip mean? Well, it basically means an enormous amount of swag. All different countries have many different types of drip, as you can see here. But within this segment, we are going to be focusing more on the UK drip. Drip is seen in the Urban Dictionary as an adjective, which is used to describe your outfit. For example, words like swag, sauce. It is also a slang term that refers to a person's sense of style that's considered cool and trendy. It's a variation of swag, and it was originally made popular by hip-hop culture. Usually the drip term refers to fashion, clothes and shoes. Here are some examples. But it may also refer to how one carries himself. The drip hashtag now has 4.2 million posts on Instagram, and the UK drip hashtag has 35,000 posts alone. Here are some more examples. But before worldwide, it was first popular in Atlanta. The drip term is used a lot to describe you or someone else's lifestyle or something they like. The word I believe drip is most alike, and it can be replaced in sentences by style or stylish. These are some examples of how the word is used in sentences instead of style and stylish. Oh, he's got style, he's got drip. The outfit is stylish, the outfit is drippy. Your new jewellery gives you mad style. Your new jewellery gives you mad drip. Those were some examples of what people say nowadays. Most people in the UK that wear this style are usually teenagers or young adults, as you can see. A lot of clothes they wear as well are designer clothes and expensive. This is mostly due to the fact that less people will be likely to have it, making them stand out. This is more important in fashion overall, as you will be seen as more unique and different. This is backed up by rappers. The main reason in liking expensive clothing is due to the reason that less people will have it.
UK drip is much different to a lot of other countries like America, France, Italy, Spain and more due to many key factors. Firstly, the weather. A lot of these countries I named before have different drip to the UK because it's much hotter there, so they are usually wearing colourful clothing of t-shirts or jumpers at most, with shorts a lot of the time, where in dichotomy, the UK drip wears more dark clothes like coats, usually Canada Goose and Montclair puffers and parkas, with tracksuits for comfort, which are usually Nike. This can be argued, as you may be thinking, most people in the UK don't wear designer parkas and full tracksuits, which is true, but I'm specifically talking about the drip category of fashion. There's a lot of UK drip you seem to see very often. Some examples of this are electric scooters and Nike Tech tracksuits, as you can see here. This has caused a social influencer, which many call the king of drip, with over 200,000 Instagram followers, to go on rants about how Nike Tech tracksuits are not drip because they're too common and not unique, as we can see here. Here are some last examples of the UK drip, as you can see here, to improve your understanding before I go. I will lastly answer a few questions and statements from the viewers. Firstly, there is a question from Tom Crane saying, can you drip on a budget? And the answer is yes. I'll put some examples of videos on YouTube showing that now. The next is a statement from Jenny Rogers saying simply, thank you for improving my understanding on this category of new fashion. You're very welcome, Jenny. And last but not least, we have Matthew Sanchez with the question, what is your favourite clothing brand? Good question, Matthew. I would like to say, although I don't have any of their clothes, I like the look of a London clothing brand called Trapstar, which specialises in mostly tracksuits and t-shirts. And thank you, I hope you enjoyed my segment on a new era of fashion. Big shout out to Joe Stevens, and don't forget to comment and share. Goodbye.
Wow, there you go, John. There really is a subgenre of fashion out there called drip.
Oof. And now it's time for our game show segment, Fact or Fiction. Jingle.
Da, da, da. Welcome to Fact or Fiction. And who do we have with us today? Our caller?
Hello.
Hi, welcome. Great to have you with us.
Great to be here.
The game is simple. It works by asking you 3 questions, and if you answer them all correctly, then you get a shout out on the social media platform of your choice. And now over to John for the first question.
So, Ethan, fact or fiction? Scotland has 421 different words for snow.
Fact.
You are correct.
Way! Okay.
Nice.
Next question, Ethan. Fact or fiction? The population of trees has been recovering since COVID-19 and over 5% of the Amazon rainforest trees have recovered.
I'm gonna go with fiction, just because that seems too obvious.
And you're correct! Way!
So, next question. Fact or fiction? Avocados are named after testicles.
I'm gonna go with fact, just because it seems a bit weird.
Oh my god, you got them all right!
Let's go!
Congratulations, Ethan. You've answered all of them correct. So you get your shout out of choice. Where would you like to have your
Nice.
shout out to?
Just pop me on Instagram, you know? Gotta get
Also,
them followers.
we will definitely do that.
We totally have
Nice.
Instagram.
Yeah. John, it's your bit. Come on.
And now, to play us out some music from Ollie Cronk and his latest single, Fresh to Death. Goodbye from me. Oh.
What's up, shorty?
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm a king, you're a knight, moving only in L. Sign rain in the pit while you're slain in the cell. But don't dwell, sight been shaded when light faded in hell. I dispel rated shit, I need a plaintiff to tell. Well, weird the creatures dwell on this to get smites and spite to me, but just so sick spent lyrics right. Tell you fight, I'll repent, hopefully the pricks went at night. Alright, Lennon, hope for me, spliff send me like a kite high. Quick, woefully with what I write with.
Oh, hello. Welcome back, people. We've just received a load of complaints about C Mills, but it's actually not the C Mills in Bristol. It's C Mills, Bristol, USA. So if anyone's getting offended about that, we really do apologise. We don't want to offend anyone. So thank you again for watching. John, do you have anything to add?
I did get a lot of cash from those old people, but I won't mention that.
That's
I'm gonna buy a Louis Vuitton bag and maybe
great.
follow in Jordan's drip segment.
That's wonderful. Right, we will say goodbye now. It's been a pleasure hosting. We will see you later.